James, what was the inspiration for this bike? Did it come from one of these old Triumphs or something more basic and farther down the dirt bike hierarchy?
I think that it's really, the foundation was laid by all the dirt bikes that I was exposed to as a young person. You know, I'm a child of the 70s and 80s and certainly saw a lot of lean Husqvarnas and stripped down desert sleds like this growing up. And when I turned to work on the jack vine, I didn't go to one particular bike and say, I want to replicate that bike. I really went inside and said, what is it about motorcycles that's elemental? What's the most basic aspect of them? And I think the dirt bike, to me, is really the most fundamental form of the bike. We looked at a lot of different models to base the larger capacity bike that we build on. And the Triumph really, has it all. It's got a really beautiful engine. And in addition to the engine, it's got like all this history behind it. We took off everything we could until we were at, a basic bike, and then added back what was essential. So it's easy to take stuff off, but it's hard to put back what's necessary, to have a bike that functions both in the city, on the roads, and in the dirt.
The springing on this, the valving feels a little bit better than the stock bike, and also it feels stiffer to me. The whole bike feels a little bit stiffer, but it doesn't feel rough or uncompliant. Did you work on the suspension quite a bit to get that?
Yeah, I think that we didn't want to make it a race bike and be difficult to ride on the street. So, we went to Works Performance and talked to them a little bit about the best way to improve the suspension and tune it to where it would be flexible for riders. We use their shocks in terms of, the base model has their steel tractor shocks, which are excellent, great performance, entry-level shocks, but really attractive in that they're scaled right. They're not that much bigger than the shocks you'll see on these old desert sleds. And I think that that's important. That the lightness visually is as important as removing weight. I think that a lot of times perception is more important than reality, and the narrowness of the bike in terms of it's set up in a position that's appropriate for a scrambler in terms of wide bars and kind of upright position. But with the low pipe setup, it's also very thin and narrow and has the weight kind of low center of gravity. So standing up on the bike is really a pleasure, and working it slow in tight trail sections is fun, But then you've got a 900cc motor when you open it up on a fire road, you can really move along. I think some of that is carburation, and having this round slide non-pumper card, it requires a little bit of throttle control. You can't just whack it open and expect it to catch up. But then if you have a memory of riding bikes before the pumpers, you really had that feeling of modulating the engine more directly, and allowing it to develop its speed. And that was intentional. I really wanted that to be part of the experience. You cannot do the same sections as you could on a KTM 450, and you can't ride it like a sports bike on the twisties, but you can really have the experience of transitioning among all those things without stopping and regrouping. That may be the compromise. The compromise is that you have to give up something on each of those different riding styles, but you don't have to break stride, which for me is really maybe the point.